Mike Gundy, for 21 years, was the head coach at Oklahoma State. He's relieved of his duties today. He's the winningest coach in the history of Oklahoma State football. I'll just give it to you straight. I did not think he would be fired, and the logic behind it is, as you heard from Dan Byer, they owe him $15 million on a buyout. They just hired an entirely new staff. The two coordinators, one of which, Doug Meacham's now the interim head coach, has a 3-year, $1 million per year deal, so they're still on the hook for the rest of this season and then 2 more seasons. I think the total is like $14-15 million. And then you're going to have a new team, right? All these players now have 30 days in which they could leave, and you're like, well, school's already started. The schools on the quarter system have not started yet. So I don't think any of these guys are leaving now, but they could. But they're going to all be gone by the end of the year. And you'll have a whole new staff and a whole new team. And if this team costs you, I was told $13 million, let's just be conservative, 15, 14, 13 for just this head coach, this staff, and this roster, right? You're looking at $42-ish million, okay? And then you have to go get a new team. This one was 13. Stands to reason, 15 to 20 next year if you actually want to be competitive. And this coaching staff, again, just even for a 1 year, like your first year, you're going to have to pay at least $5 million for a head coach, and then probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 for assistant coaches, right? So you're at 15 plus 20, that's 35 plus what were we, 42? That's a lot of money. And despite the fact that you're told by people who don't know anything about anything that there's ungodly sums of money out there, there's not that much money in Oklahoma State. Now, I have been told there are some loopholes and some things like Vet Med sitting on like $300 million that they think they can use for this, whatever. The point is, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Let me tell you why the timing of it and what they have done is absolutely positively wrong. And it's wrong for a myriad of reasons. The number one reason is, hey, I thought we were different. You know, my brother, he's been in coaching for a long time, and he went to UCLA, graduated from UCLA. In the middle, he actually played basketball at Drake, which has become kind of a powerhouse in the Missouri Valley in Des Moines, Iowa. And he told me a long time ago, an expression that I don't believe because I have what I believe is a really good relationship with my alma mater, which is, hey, the second you care too much about your alma mater, just remember, they don't care about you. So Mike Gundy shouldn't have kept his job because he's an Oklahoma State alum, but what exactly was accomplished today? I want you to just think about this for a second, okay? And again, this is a topic I know a lot about, and some of you do because we're on in Oklahoma. You know, people have listened to the show forever. And again, last year I thought he made those comments about his running back who got a DUI, nothing I haven't done 1,000 times. You're like, what? He got away with saying things that no one else could. One, because he was glib, and that's just who he was, and it worked out. But two, because they won. And did it for a long time. But it's wrong because let's just take any coach, but especially one who is an alum and has been successful for 19 and a half years. Right? Last year, this time, Oklahoma State was ranked 14th in the country. Last year, this time, Oklahoma State was that is a precipitous decline. So now either the old man stopped working, he's not really that old, but he stopped working, or the game passed him by, or maybe, I don't know, maybe this is just a whole new world. I was against UCLA firing Deshaun Foster, but Deshaun got a job that I don't think anybody thought he had a chance for. Also an alum, but 3 games into his second year. What are we doing? What's the purpose of being a coach if you can't have problems and try and fix those problems? What's the purpose of having a contract if you can't let somebody at least go through the second year of it? Virginia Tech, it was his 4th year. It was a weird tie. They never got it going. They're chasing the glory of a program in the past when they were in a different league, in a different time, in a different era, and they're trying to get it back. I understand it's hard at Virginia Tech. But neither of those two were the winningest coaches at a place. or had just 2 years ago won 10 games at a place where they started, by the way, 2 years ago, losing to South Alabama at home, which is as bad or as worse loss than to Tulsa this past Friday. But here's the point. At the end of last season, okay, there was a coup d'etat. There were people in the athletic department, more people that were donors, and I believe the Governor Stitt in Oklahoma, who wants to be the president of Oklahoma State, tried to have a coup d'etat. They wanted to fire Mike Gundy, and Mike Gundy had a contract which was unfireable. It was even as an alum and a friend of Gundy and a fan of like a $25 million buyout on a rollover contract is ridiculous. So they tried to come up with some cockamamie plan to fire him for cause if he wasn't willing to change the terms of his contract and sign a new contract. He acquiesced, signed a new contract that now had a $15 million buyout. And he acquiesced and wiped out his staff, people that he worked with for years, and hired a whole new staff. We're 3 games in to a new staff. 3 games in to a season. 2.5 of those games they played without their starting quarterback and broke his foot on the 3rd series of the season. The starting quarterback who came over with the offensive coordinator. They copied the Oklahoma model. And you're going to fire your winningest coach ever. Why? Because he might win games? Here's a news flash. I don't know if anybody knows this. Even if Mike Gundy won every game the rest of the season, if you want to fire him, do you know how much it costs you? $15 million. If he loses every game the rest of the season, do you know how much it costs you? $15 million. But you're supposed to do it the right way. Was it embarrassing to lose to Tulsa? Yes. 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 Last time they lost to Tulsa was 1998. I know. I was there. I was a student. We drove down to Tulsa, watched football guys play. It was in the rain. It was awful. And Tulsa was sort of decent then, I think. And Oklahoma State was not, but it felt terrible. Okay? Bad scheduling all around. Don't play the Oregon game. They're on a completely different trajectory than you. And don't play Tulsa because there's no win in playing Tulsa. The same reason Wisconsin won't play us is because they beat us. You're supposed to beat us. If you lose, it's the end of the world. I get it. But 3 games in to a 21-year career when you've done nothing but win up until the last calendar year? You fire a guy who just hired a new staff, has 63 new players. All that is you have people who think that the answer is always fire everybody, start over, do it as quickly as possible. What changed for the program today? How did they put themselves on some different trajectory? What changed for this weekend as Baylor came? Nothing. All you've done is say whatever hope there was of having any sort of positive season, you've completely thrown it out the door. And, oh, yeah, by the way, like if you're Mike Gundy, he wasn't probably going to go quietly, but you very easily could have gone in at midseason and be like, listen, we got the money. We're going to buy you out. We want to do this the right way. Let's make this the going away tour. But instead, you just do it to get splash. You do it in the middle of the week. It's Tuesday. They play Saturday at home. At home. And I know who the people are who are making these decisions. And, again, a lot of them have been, hey, I got this money. I want this coach. I want that coach. They did it in basketball a couple years ago. Okay? So they're putting up their good hard-earned money because it's their alma mater and they want to buy a winner. But nothing you have done today makes you closer to being a winner. None. Because you're going to have to start from scratch next year regardless. Completely over. New staff, new program, new everything. And again, that's going to take time. You think I don't know that? I'm living it. So this is not a coach to a coach defending a coach. I said yesterday, I thought he actually should have gotten until next year. What's the point of reworking his deal? What's the point of saving yourself $10 million for 3 games when you lose your starting quarterback 3 series in? Right? And you can say, well, when you know, you know. But you don't know. You have no idea what they have. And, yeah, they missed on some guys in the portal. They weren't great. It's really, really hard to have 15 or 20 practices and then go play, a football game. Kind of hard. So, again, this is not me saying you can't fire a coach. This is not me saying you can't fire an alum. You can. This is not me saying you can't fire the winningest coach in the history of Oklahoma State football. You absolutely, positively have the right to do so. But why now? Because idiots on TV and on the internet think that you can get John Gruden, which you can't, or think that this doesn't put you in pole position to go get a coach. It doesn't change anything. You still have to go and evaluate who you think and figure out what their plan is, figure out how much money you have, what name is going to generate you the most money for people who donate money. So, one, you can continue the buyout process, but also, two, raise money for new players. All of these things, they don't change. But Oklahoma State was supposed to be different because he's one of us. It doesn't buy you a lifetime appointment. It doesn't mean that you're impervious to anything. It doesn't mean that you have to stay there for years to come and fulfill the entirety of your contract. It doesn't mean that. But it's supposed to mean something. 21 years of excellence is supposed to mean something. And it doesn't. And that's where we are in college sports. Not everywhere, but it sucks that it's my alma mater. That was supposed to be a different place. That was supposed to be a place where, hey, Cowboys hire Cowboys, and we take care of Cowboys. And look, they hired the longtime legendary wrestling coach John Smith retired a year and a half ago. They hired David Taylor, the wrestling coach. He's a Penn State guy. He's been unbelievable. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people around Stillwater that are like, hey, we don't have to hire Oklahoma State guys. David Taylor's not. He's awesome. It's a great hire. He's been spectacular. But did you do that 3 matches into the season? 3 games into the season? And this just reiterates something that I've often believed. I tell people all the time, you don't go shop hungry. Right? You don't go shop hungry. Why don't you go shop hungry? Because you'll go buy stuff that you didn't actually want. You're like, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. You come home and your wife or your girlfriend's like, what'd you get? I was like, well, I got horchata because that sounds good. And then I got steak because that sounds good. And then I got chicken. And then I got sushi. And then and they're like, whoa, all this is fresh. It's all going to go bad. Why did I let you go shopping when you're hungry? But you don't make decisions when you're embarrassed. Catch your breath, find your balance, make the smart decision. This is not one of them. Because however bitter Mike Gundy may have been when ultimately you let him go, now, you lost a huge chunk of your university and your football family. Because you're very likely to hire somebody outside of the football family who's going to do things new. And now all those people that used to come around for all the games because they played for one coach for 20 years. And now it's not just that he's gone. It's that he's really bitter about it. And you embarrassed him by firing him 3 games in with a whole new team and a whole new coaching staff. What's the hurt in waiting? He might win more games. Okay. You can still fire him. You're still allowed to.